Hello, and welcome to the Mad Journey, a video blog about my trials in getting my son Michael back to me through the court system. This is my second video of my first video blog ever. So please bear with me. There might be some technical things I'm still getting used to. In my first video, I spoke about what happens when you're an unmarried parent, unmarried father specifically, and you're fighting for your rights to see your kids. I gave you a basic overview of my situation and what any father going through in a similar situation would expect or can expect before the court papers and the filing and the getting served and all that crap. Before that, there's something else I wanted to talk about, which is really just dealing with the situation. So when my son was taken from me, it was, well, when I found out, I was actually waiting for them to come back. His mom had taken him across country to see family, and of course I have no issue with that. And they, on the day of they were supposed to come back, she said, "Oh, we're not coming back." And I remember waiting at the train station, about to get on a train to go to them, and getting the text and then eventually a call. And I remember just feeling numb. Like when something like that happens and it comes out of left field, it's just the a very numbing kind of, I don't know how to react just yet. It's almost like when someone says something blatantly racist that you just didn't expect. It's like, wait, what just happened? Wait, what? And there's a mounting anger that comes across you, anger, sadness, and you just don't know what to do with it. And I remember going home. It was just the longest train ride back home ever, and going home and seeing all of my son's stuff there, and I just broke down, man. I didn't know how to deal with it. It was really, really, really rough. One of the most difficult parts about my son being taken from me in the beginning was the silence in the house. For fathers that have gone through this know exactly what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the silence. Because when you're living with the other person, if you're in that kind of situation where you're living with your baby's mother, you're used to noise. You have the TV on, you have this kid making noise, and it's all mad, it's all crazy, but you love it anyway. When my son was taken from me, I remember our apartment, well, the apartment being completely silent, just devoid of any sound. When you're going through something like this, you on a daily basis you try to find things to distract you and take your mind off of it. I remember thinking to myself, like, okay, well, I'm in this situation. I have to kind of deal with it. I can't keep thinking about what's happening over and over my head. I'm never going to leave the house. So I would try to do things to distract me. I love playing video games. So it's like, all right, well, there's no baby to wake up, so I can play video games late at night and blast the sound. Well, not too loud because I don't want to disturb my neighbors. But I could play it pretty loud. And but no matter what I did, I tried playing music. I would be cleaning up and maybe putting his stuff away, and I'd play music and very loudly, and it would just it would still feel silent. It would just feel so damn quiet. Not even like haunted house, scary movie quiet. Like, I don't know, like a heartbreaking quiet. If I could give any father that's going through the same situation or who just started going through the situation, if I can give any fathers like that any advice, it would be this: give yourself time to accept the situation. You know, this happening to you is pretty effed up and pretty, I don't want to say traumatic, but no, it is. It's traumatic. And you need to give yourself time to accept what's going on, because when something like this happens, your anger, your sadness, and your impulses all want to take go behind the wheel. They all want to drive, and you do not want that. The moment that person took your kid, everything you do from here on, you need to tread carefully because they can use that against you in any way. So take your time to accept what's going on. What you've been through is really rough and it's really tough, and you have a long road ahead. So give yourself that permission to just assess what's going on and to calm yourself down. It's not easy at all because I know your mind can go to some dark places when you're really upset and really sad. But just breathe and figure out what's going on, because the most important thing you need is focus, especially in the beginning stages, because you're so up and down. This is all still very new. You need to focus and give yourself time to do that. If it requires you going out with friends more, it requires you being alone, requires, I don't know, pick up a hobby or something, whatever you can do to calm yourself down so you can focus for the task at hand, that's what you need to do. I remember feeling bad at some points for having fun after this happened. Don't beat yourself up. Don't make it that. You have to be able to fight. You can't fight properly if your mind is screwed up. You have to get your mind right. You have to. I can't explain that enough, you know? It's very important to get yourself together before you go to war. Because as I said, it's a long process and it's a pain in the ass, and you will not be able to do it unless you have your mind right. One of the last pieces of advice I can give to fathers that just started going through something like this is that no matter what happened, no matter what the mother's saying about you or what happened in a relationship in the past, no matter what, it's all about the kid. Spoiler alert, the judge doesn't give a damn about the he said, she said. You know what I mean? Like, the child is the main focus. If you're going through a situation like this, you are more than likely dealing with someone that's very irrational, who might say some really mean things to you and about you to other people. So no matter what she says or what she does or what she tells people, it's about the kid. Don't go too deep. If this person is telling lies about you and whatever have you, don't even bother with it, because you know the truth, they know the truth. Facts don't lie. Usually people in this situation don't want to admit they're wrong. The type of mothers that do stuff like that are the kind of people that don't want to admit that they messed up. They will spend all of their energy trying to make you look like the most terrible person to justify what they did so they don't have to feel guilty. Just focus on the kid, because that is the most important thing. So, to recap, um, focus and acceptance. If you're going through something like this, dealing with yourself is probably the hardest thing you're going to do. Give yourself time and permission to accept what's going on, come to terms with it, and then you can focus on the task at hand, which is getting your children back. Friends and family, people will try to give you their opinions and advice, some of which will be very unhelpful, but it's coming from a good place and they are trying to help. The most important thing, which I will keep reiterating throughout this video series, is that you have to stay focused. Stay focused and you'll be alright. Okay? Please follow me on Twitter at FightForMikey, hashtag BringMikeyBack. As I said in the other video, there are a bunch of fathers' rights groups out there. Please look up parental alienation, fathers' rights movement, equal parenting rights. Any of those keywords will bring you to groups and sites all dedicated to situations just like mine. We really need your support, and people need to know that this kind of stuff is going on. So thanks for watching, and yeah, I hope this was helpful.